A very good evening everyone. Welcome to IAS with Arihant. Student, as you know, every day at 9 p.m. we are discussing about Indian polity. And basically this series is based on a book that is especially published by Arihant, and book is called as Prelims Possible. And this series is available for other subject also. So you can go for any subject, for the history, for the polity, for the geography, for the economics. Okay, so it is available for each and every subject students. Along with that, it is available in both language, Hindi as well as in English. And one very important thing is, students, those who are preparing for any state PSC examination as well as for the UPSC examination, so this session is going to be very beneficial for your examination, students. And as you know, we are discussing about the fundamental right. And in the today's session we are going to discuss about the basically right against exploitation, as well as freedom to religion, and cultural and educational rights we will discuss in the today's class. Okay, so let's begin the session. But one very important thing, those who are very new to this channel, please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, as well as share this video with your friends also. And so let's begin the session, students. As I told you, this book basically this session is based on a book that is specially published by Arihant. This book is it's contain lots of feature. Like, this book is very unique because it is divided into chapters, and that chapter is divided into topics, and there is a topical mind map. And the students, what you find, there will be MCQs, topic based MCQs, and there will be a very best part of this book, students. It contain explanation. Okay, so explanation will be here, and that is 100% error free. Along with that, students, there was a knowledge plus for the typical question, and there's a 3500 plus PYQ bullets. Okay, so in the last of this book, students, what you get, there will be PYQ bullets, and that is going to help you in a multiple sense. Was you'll see it there will be a thing means you can easily revise your subject. Okay, so this is also very important. And as I told you, we are going to start with the right against exploitation. We already discussed over the fundamental right in 3 topics, and today we will start with the right against exploitation. And as you know, students, I will just give a quick outline. Part 3 of Indian Constitution is about the fundamental right. Okay, and this concept is derived from USA, and article is ranging between 12 to 35. Okay, so if we talk about the concept is derived from, so concept is from the USA Constitution. And another very important thing, students, you need to take it here. It is enforceable in court of law. Enforceable in court of law means no one can take away your fundamental right, and it is available to each and every citizen as well as non-citizen. There are few exception also, students. That is only means there are exception basically connected with few article, which is available to only Indians. Okay, and there is a multiple amendment was also took place in the previous year, and we will discuss about that also in the last topic, means in the last of this chapter, students. Okay, so what you find, it contain basically right against exploitation. So exploitation is what? If you are taking away your fundamental, means someone's fundamental right. Okay, if you are basically exploiting by, if you are going to take the fundamental right of others, it means that you are exploiting in some way. Let's suppose I have I just hired a person, and forcefully hired a person to do my household work. So in that case, students, if I am not giving a payment to the same person, I am going to exploit the same. Let's suppose if I am giving less payment what is needed at that time. Let's suppose I committed I will pay you 10,000, but I am not paying 10,000, I am paying 4,000. I am just trying to cut salary by any way. So in that case, I am exploiting that person. If I am selling someone, if I am let's suppose prostitution is also part of the same, students. If someone forced to do any these type of activity, someone forced to sell their organs, these all will be the part of exploitation. So what you find, students, there is article number 23, and that is mentioning about what? It is mentioning about few things, that is prohibition of traffic in humans and forced labor. Forced labor, you can say bonded labor. Okay, So bonded labor, as you see in a movie, there was Bahubali movie, and as you see, Katappa was basically a military person, but he was not getting payment of the work. Okay, so what he said कि I am a das, मैं बंदी हूँ. Okay, so he working as a das. Okay, so this is not going to be constitutional. So what you find, students, human trafficking include multiple points like buying and selling of male, female, or any children's, anyone. Okay, so immoral behavior with women and children's. Along with that, students, Devdasi concept. Initially, what you find in temples. Okay, so families means sending their daughters, okay, to the temples as a Devdasi. Okay, so they are saying just serve to the temple, serve to the god. So that was a Devdasi concept, and it is also not going to be good. And a slavery concept is also there. It is a part of the human trafficking. What you see, students, if I am going to serve our country, let's suppose there is any war, and at that time I am going to serve as a military person, and there is a law or anything, any order issued by government to serve in military. In that case, I can't say that you are exploiting me. I have to serve at that time because it is for nation, and always understand nation first. Okay, so this is one thing. This is about Article 23. Then we have Article 24. Students' prohibition of children's in hazardous factories. Okay, prohibition of employment of children in hazardous factories means that basically there are children. Sometimes they are forced to do work. Okay, so in that case you can give employment to them, but you can't basically hire them for any work where he or she can get injured or died. Okay, so in that cases there is some prohibition. Okay, so there is a 14-year compulsory age. You can't hire anyone because there is a Article 21 is also there, that is right to education, duty to education also included under Article 51 clause A subclause K. So students, this is also very important. If they are getting elementary education, if they are serving someone, then it is okay, but there are some restrictions. We will discuss about the same in the MCQs of students. So I will start from here only. I'm just reading the question and you have to give answer in the comment box. Now, which one of the following article of the Constitution deal with the fundamental right related to exploitation of children? Exploitation of children, students. Okay, so Article 17, 19, 24 and 25. This was in UPPSC multiple time, and see, these type of question is seen in other examination too. Okay, I hope you all able to understand, students. Just give the right answer. I'm just rearranging myself. Okay, I hope you all understand. Okay, so see, if you see the article, what you find, students, Article 17 is about the untouchability. Okay, untouchability. So any type of untouchability is not going to be accepted, students. Okay, so basically what it is mentioning, abolition of untouchability. Okay, Article 17. Then we have Article 19, that is mentioning about some freedom. We already discussed freedom of speech and expression and then students, Article 24 is here, that we already discussed. This is about the basically prohibition of employment of children. You can employ, but you can't exploit them. Okay, so this is especially included under article, students. So Article 24 is right for the same. As you know, Article 25 is mentioning, it is basically about the freedom to religion. We will discuss about that also, freedom to religion. I hope you all are getting it. Okay, do you feel any doubt and difficulties? So if you feel, you just tell me. Otherwise, we are going to see, as I told you, we have a very great explanation portion with each and every question, and I'm going just going to share you. And students, this explanation will help you in mains also. So this is going to be the part for your mains examination too. So Article 24 deal with the fundamental right related to the exploitation of children. Okay, see, Article 24 of the Indian Constitution forbid Employment of children below the age of 14 years in dangerous job like factories and mine. Okay, so prohibition under Article 24 is absolute and there would be no exception. It is absolute. Okay, it is clear that under no circumstances children below age 14 can be employed in factories or mine or any hazardous job where he or she can lose their life or may get injured. Okay, so this is very important, students, and as this here you'll get an explanation portion. Article 24 is absolute. Absolute means it is going to be implemented 100%. Okay, so sometime whenever you write a means paper, at that time you have to use these words as students. Now just see the question number 2. Which of the following statement is correct respect to right against exploitation? Right against exploitation, and this question was in Maharashtra PSC 2021. So following statement is correct. So prohibition of traffic in human being and forced labor. Okay, freedom to payment of taxes and promotion of any particular religion, protection of interest of minorities, equality before law and equal protection of law. What you find, students, equality before law is the part of Article 14. Protection of interest of minorities, it is included under Article 29 of Indian Constitution. Freedom as to payment of taxes, it is the part of the religion. So it is range between Article 25 to 28. So I'm not mentioning the right answer directly here for the this statement 2 or statement B, because we are going to discuss the same chapter today. What you find, students, right against exploitation under Article 23, it is mentioning about prohibition of trafficking in human being and forced labor is there. Okay, so this is also very important, and if you feel doubt, just tell me. Now I'm just going to share you explanation. Okay, so explanation part, as I told you, it is going to help you in a mains examination too. So prohibition of human traffic in human being and forced labor came under the right against exploitation under Article 23 of Indian Constitution and is a fundamental right. So right against exploitation prohibit any activity like selling, buying men, women and children, make them punishable under the law. Some of the act made in this regard, there is an act that is called as the Bonded Labor System Abolition Act 1976. Even in some village area, students, what you find, few people are there who are forced to do work in few houses. Okay, and if they are not doing, means they are not getting the right payment too, and if they, let's suppose they want to go for the other field, they are going to be beaten by the same master. Okay, so yes, these things are still there. That's why these acts are means implemented, and basically government trying to impose these things. Okay, means they are trying to remove from the society so everyone will feel equal without any exploitation, students. Then there was a Minimum Wage Act 1948, means that if someone is there, he must get a right wage. Okay, along with that, students, the Contract Labor Act 1970. So these all will be the part for the same, and they are trying to protect everyone's right to getting exploited by anyone. Okay, everyone. Now see the third question. Which of the following are envisaged by the right against exploitation in the Constitution of India? It was in UPPSC 2017. So prohibition of human traffic and forced labor, as you know, students, it is a part of Article 23. See, fundamental right you need to remember, as well as sometimes the clauses are also very important if some modification is there. Okay, so abolition of untouchability, as you know, it is under Article 17 of Indian Constitution. Protection of interest of minorities, it is included under Article 29 of Indian Constitution, students. Along with that, prohibition of employment of children in hazardous factories where someone going to get injured or may lost their life. So it is mentioned under Article 24 of Indian Constitution. So what you find, if you go with the statements, what you see, basically abolition of untouchability is for the right to equality portion. Right to equality, it is range between Article 14 to 18. Okay, protection of interest of minorities, it is for the cultural and educational right. So what you see, 1 and 4 is correct for the same question. So you must go with the same. What you see, students, basically option C is going to be right for the same. I will give you explanation part also, and we already discussed about the same once we opened the class. Okay, so what you see, statement 1 and 4 are correct. Prohibition of trafficking in human being, forced labor, prohibition of employment of children in factories and mines are both right under the Right Against Exploitation Act and article, that is 23 and 24 respectively. Statement 2 and 3 is incorrect because abolition of untouchability is a part of right to equality, okay, and protection of interest of minorities is a part of the cultural and educational right students. So we already discussed about the same. Okay, now see the fourth question. It was in Maharashtra PSC once again in 2013. Now consider the following statement stating the meaning of the concept of begari in article 23. Student, begari, this word is used in the north belt a lot. And what is begari? Sometime I'm just going to use few Hindi word too. गाँव में जब आप देखेंगे ना, आई विल एक्सप्लेन इन इंग्लिश टू, बट फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड इन हिंदी. जब आप गांव में देखेंगे तो गांव में कुछ लोग बैठे रहते हैं और किसी के द्वार पे बैठे रहते हैं, किसी के यहाँ काम कर रहे होते हैं और उनको बहुत उसकी सैलरी नहीं मिलती, ओके, या वो किसी दबाव में काम कर रहे होते हैं. सो ऐसे लोगों को बोलते हैं कि बेगारी करेला, मतलब गाँव में बोलते हैं कि बेगारी करता है, ओके, मतलब he is not doing anything. So what you find, students, begari, what is the meaning of begari? So it is means this word used in the village area a lot. Along with that, it is in the constitution too, to make means the things clear. So what is begari here, students? Forced labor. So to make compulsion to work beyond the physical capacity means it is also exploitation, forceful thing. Okay, you have to do it whether your body allowing to do the same or not. Okay, involuntary servitude means you have to do it once again, and to work for a particular master and do not seek employment elsewhere without his permission. So the work is just like slave. So what you find, students, begari is all that is forced labor to make compulsion work beyond the physical capacity, involuntary basically servitude, and students' fourth statement is also correct. So he is not getting the right salary, he is not getting, means he is not, he don't have choice to leave the work. So this person will be called, this concept will be called as begari. I hope you all getting it. So if you go with the options, students, what you find, all these are correct for the same. Okay, now I'm just sharing the explanation part of the same. Begari in article 23 of Indian Constitution include forced labor, compulsion to work beyond the physical capacity, involuntary servitude, and to work for a particular master and do not seek employment elsewhere without permission. Article 23 prohibits the traffic in human being, forced labor. Begar means extracting work from a person without making payment for such work. Okay, so forced labor means labor not render willingly, means I don't want to work, but by someone forcing me to do the same work, okay, but due to force or compulsion, such as work for less than minimum wage due to the poverty and hunger, students. I hope you all getting it. Any doubt? Okay, if you feel doubt, just tell me. Then we have the question number 5. Article 24 of the Indian Constitution prohibit employment of children in any factories below the age of, as I told you, students, in factories and mines. So this article is absolute. Okay, so what is the minimum age? This was in UPPSC multiple time. This was in mains examination too. It was in West Bengal PSC. So what you find, students, minimum age is 14 years. So but in some places, students, what you find, like in the pan shop where the tobacco product is sold. So what you find, they are using basically a specific poster, 18 वर्ष से कम उम्र के बच्चे तंबाकू नहीं बेच सकते. So if someone below the 18 he or she can't sold tobacco. Okay, so this is one thing that's you need to remember the same. So there is a different condition for different places. Okay, now just see the explanation. Article 24 of Indian Constitution prohibit the employment of children in factories and mines or any hazardous employment below the age of 14 years. So Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act was passed in year 2016, means it was amended, and government has put a complete ban on child labor except in family enterprises or as child artist. Okay, it has also banned the employment of adolescent 14 to 18 year of age in the hazardous process and occupation. I hope you understand it. Now students, I told you, let's suppose someone is someone working as a filmmaker, basically a child. So basically it is an artistic work, so he's not going to be he's getting payment for the same, so this will not consider as the employment. Okay, so this is also important. Let's suppose someone is there and means I am, let's suppose my family are giving some work to me. Okay, as I'm at my home place, so let's suppose in morning they said ki just go and bring this, okay, bring that. So in that case, students, it is not a labor work, okay, because they are sending me school, they are completing their duty. So in the same format, let's suppose someone's family is not there and he or she working for some house, okay, or some family. In that case, it will be considerable. I hope you are getting it. So this is important, just try to remember for the same. Now we are moving towards the next question. It was in MPPSC year 2021. Article 21 of the Constitution of India prohibit employment of children in hazardous factories and hazardous work. Such prohibition is what type of prohibition it is, students? Absolute prohibition. See, this is going to be the part of your mains also. Whenever you write, let's suppose someone writing about the condition of child or woman in India. So at that time, students, you have to mention how our constitution protecting their right. Okay, so you will write according to Article 24 of the Indian Constitution, child's labor is protected. Okay, so child labor is prohibited. Okay, and it is absolute prohibition in some sense. Okay, in hazardous factories, mine work. Okay, so you have to mention that. And whenever you write these specific terms and the concept in your mains answer writing, definitely the basically examiner is going to be happy once they are reading your answer. Okay, so this is very important. So students, it is an absolute prohibition, means it is completely prohibited. Now just see the explanation part. Article 24 of the Indian Constitution prohibit the employment of children below the age of 14 years in any factories, mines or other activities like construction work or railway. The prohibition is absolute in case of hazardous work, and a strict punishment and a fine is imposed to the violator. So if someone going to violate this, definitely he or she is going to be punished. Okay, getting it? So this is about the basically right, that is right against exploitation, students. I hope you all getting it. Now we are going to discuss the another part, that is this fifth topic and fourth right. Okay, what? Basically freedom to religion. So right to freedom of religion, students. As you know, students, we are a secular country. How we are secular? Because state don't have any religion. Okay, so what you find, students, if you talk about let's suppose this Pakistan. So what you find, Pakistan is an Islamic country because they declared that means their policies is going to be pro-Islam. Okay, but as India is a secular country, so we are not creating any specific regulation for a specific religion. Basically, state has no religion and we are treating every religion equally. So this contain Article 25 to 28 and I am going to discuss the same, students. Okay, so Article 25 is for what? Freedom of conscience. profession, practice, propagate any religion. So whatever your faith is there, you are believe in God, you don't believe in God, it is your choice. Government is not going to make any law that going to destroy your faith, but it is also very important, there is a limitation too. You also not going to compel someone to accept your religion, okay, but you can propagate your religion. If someone want to join, then they can join. Article 26 of Indian Constitution, freedom to manage religious affairs. So you are free, means everyone free to manage their religious matters, okay. 27 is about the freedom from the payment of taxes for the promotion of any religion, and Article 28 is mentioning about the freedom of attendance at the religious instruction students. What you find, if there is a school that is funded by state, and that is not connected with the minorities, in that case students, it is state funded and the state has no religion. So there is some, let's suppose there is a Saraswati Vandana, okay. So in that case, let's suppose you are not believing in God, then you can means you can't means if you don't want to participate, you can't, means no one going to force you. So this is your freedom, okay. So it is mentioned under Article 28 of Indian Constitution, and we'll discuss each and every concept with the MCQs, and if you feel doubt, just tell me. Now, which guarantees right to freedom of religion to all person in all its aspects, okay. It was in Tripura PSC year 2011, Article 25 to 28, 29, 30 and 34. What is going to write for the same students? Just tell me the right answer. I'm just correcting my camera, okay. I hope you all getting it. Now just opt the right answer, students, okay. So what you see, students, right to freedom of religion, it is included under Article 25 to 28. We already discussed about the same, and these type of question was asked by multiple time in the examination. So be prepared and ready for the same. I'm just going to explain the same what we discussed in the mind map. Article 25 to 28 guarantees the right to freedom of religion. Article 25 provide for the freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of any religion. Article 26 provide for the freedom to manage any religious affair. Article 26 provide for the freedom from the payment of taxes for promotion of any particular religion. Article 28 provide for freedom from attending religious instruction or religious worship in certain educational institution, okay. So means no one going to force. So we already discussed about the same in the mind map, and what you find, students, the question is going to move around the same, okay. The word Hindu in Article 25 of Indian Constitution of India does not include what? So which of the following is considered as the Hindu and which of the following is not considered as the Hindu? It was in UPPSC mains paper, Uttarakhand PSC, and students, those who are preparing for the means examination, so Uttarakhand PSC is also there. So you must fill the form before the last date, okay. So it is also going to be a very good evening, everyone. A very good evening, Trisha, okay. So I hope you all done. So just give your right answer: Buddhist, Jain, Parsis, Sikh. What you find, the students, Buddhist, Jain and Sikh, they all are the part of the basically this Hindu word, okay. So it is not word, it is word, okay. So I'm not mentioning about the word, I'm just mentioning about the word, okay. So this is also very important and it is need to clarify sometime, okay. So Parsis are not mentioned in the Article 25 of Indian Constitution, and Article 25 clause B, the term Hindus included Sikh, Jain, Buddhist. Article 25 says that all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and their right to freely profess, practice and propagate their religion, students. Now see the third question. In the context of right to freedom of religion, okay, which of the following provisions are constitutionally tenable under the Indian Constitution? So it was in Maharashtra PSC year 2013, okay. And just see the basically statements. So here Right to freedom of religion can enjoyed only by citizen of India. Right to freedom of religion is the part of Article 25. Okay, and as you know students, I already discussed basically Article 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. This is only available to Indians. So this is only available to Indian. Otherwise, all other available to both whom? Indian as well as Indian citizen as well as any alien. So we are providing this to everyone. So it means that statement 1 is incorrect. Now see, state can make a law restricting any economic, financial or political activities associated with the religious practice. So yes, state has power to do the same. They can control. Okay, so this is statement 2 is correct. State can make a law for throwing open Hindu religion institution of public charter to all Indian citizens. State can make a law for throwing open. So basically state is not going to promote any particular religion. Okay. Okay, so this statement 3 is also going to be incorrect. If you read fourth statement, carrying a kripan shall be deemed to profession of Sikh religion under the constitution. And see students, before 2 years there was a case in Delhi, I think it was 3 years, okay, when basically rickshaw puller and auto driver, he was using his kripan. Basically kripan is a symbol, a religious symbol, and it is used by Sikh. So he used his kripan against someone. So what you find students, at that time it was in news also, at that time it was in discussion also, ki is it okay to allow the kripan or not. So basically it is used as a religious symbol. So yes, it is allowed. So statement 2 and statement 4 is correct. Now you need to go with the same answer. So what you find, statement 2 and 4 is correct. So option A is going to be right for the same. Now I'm just going to give you explanation. Statement 2 and 4 are correct. Section 2A of Article 25 state that state can make any law regulating or restricting any economic, financial, political or any secular activity may be associated with the religious practice. Article 25 clause B also explain that wearing and carrying kripan shall be deemed to be included in the profession of the Sikh religion. And as I already told you students, there are few articles like Article 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. This is especially available to Indian and it is not given to aliens students. And I hope you all understand. But Article 25 is going to be available to basically Indian as well as the foreigner. Now this question was in Chhattisgarh PSC 2018. So what are the restrictions in the freedom to manage religious affairs in the Article 26 of the Constitution? What are the restrictions in the freedom to manage religious affairs in the Article 26 of Indian Constitution? What are the restrictions? Okay, it is public order, national security, education, morality, health and secularism. So you have to choose from the these statements or these options. Okay, just stop the right answer for the same students. Okay, what are the restrictions in the freedom to manage religious affair under Article 26 of Indian Constitution? So what you find, students, basically restriction. Okay, so it will be public order, it will be morality and it will be health. Okay, so these are the restriction in the freedom. Okay, but national security, education and secularism, it is allowed there. So what you find, students, what you find 1, 4 and 5, it is in option D, so it is going to be right for the same. We are going to see explanation and here you get some data. So Article 26 of the Indian Constitution give every section freedom to manage any religious affair, maintain institution for religious and charitable purpose, own and acquire movable and immovable properties, to administer such property in accordance with law. This provision under Article 26 are subjected to public order, morality and health, students. Okay. Now see, Article 26 of Indian Constitution is referred to what? Okay, this was in UPPSC and it was in other examination too. Right to equality, right to property, freedom of religion and protection of minorities. Right to equality, as you know, it is between Article 14 to 18. Right to property was under Article 31. Along with that, students, Article 19 clause 1 subclause F. But as you know, there was an amendment, that is 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978. This right to property is removed and it is centered under part 12 of the Indian Constitution, and there's an article number, Article 300A. Initially, when it was the part of this, it was a fundamental right. Now it is right to property is legal right. Okay, so this is legal right, students. Protection of basically freedom to religion 25 to 28, and protection of minorities 29 and 30, students. So what you find, if you see, students, basically this statement C is going to be the right answer for the same. So you need to remember the range, you need to remember these articles. Okay, so Article 25 of Indian Constitution refer to freedom of religion. Article 25 is related to the freedom of conscience and free profession, practice, propagation of religion. It says that all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and right to freely profess, practice and propagate religion. Okay, so the provisions of these articles are not absolute. Okay, basically state can make reasonable and appropriate measure when it comes to the public order, health and morality. So the state has authority to regulate economic, political as well as financial or any secular affair related to the particular religion, students. Now see the next question. Under which article of Indian Constitution wearing kripan by Sikh is deemed as right to freedom of religion? So I told you it was in 2B. What 2B? Under Article 26 clause 2 subclause B, and it is included under Article 26, students. Okay, because it is your freedom, you can manage your religious affair, so you can use your symbols too. Okay, getting it? It is under Article 25, I told you, I think. So it is your freedom what you want to profess and what it is allowed. Just of the right answer, I just given C. Okay, so just make it correction. Under Article 25, wearing kripan deemed to be right to freedom of religion. Article 25 clause 2 of Indian Constitution state that nothing in this article shall affect the operation of any existing law or prevent the state from making any law. So regulate or restriction any economic, financial, absolute, political or any secular activity which may be associated with the religious practice. So this right gives them and the freedom to use a religious component such as kripan. Okay, so this is about the basically this provision, freedom of religion. Now we are moving towards the another topic and the mind map, cultural and educational rights under Article 23, 29 and 30, students. And what 29 is mentioning about, protection of interest of minorities, protection of both religious and linguistic minorities. So any type of, if there is a minority is there, so their culture, their religion, their language, they all going to be protected, so they can conserve them. Okay, means it is not written anywhere ki you are going to force to leave your language, your culture, your lifestyle. You can follow what you want to do. Along with that, students, Article 30, let's suppose I am belonging to the Bhojpuri belt of Uttar Pradesh. So Bhojpuri is my language, it is my mother tongue, it is my culture. There are lots of festivals, there are lots of fair that we are following from many years. So in that case, if let's suppose I went to Delhi or I went to Punjab. So in Punjab, Punjabi speaking people are more, and Bhojpuri is going to be a minor language. So in that case, students, I want my child, let's suppose I settled there, because as you know, Article 19 of Indian Constitution giving you freedom to reside in any part of Indian territory. So let's suppose I stayed in Punjab and my language is Bhojpuri. So I just want my next generation, my child, means they learn the same thing. So for that purpose, as a part of the minority, so I can open a school, I can open an educational institution. And why this is done here? This is for the protection of your culture. Okay, so basically it is the right of minorities to establish and administer any educational institution. So that's why students will see ki basically madrasas are basically created by Muslims to protect their religion. There will be some school, Khalsa school, that is called as I think Khalsa schools are there. Okay, so in the Khalsa school, basically Sikhs are protecting their culture, Gurumukhi and all language. Okay, along with that, students, there are some basically missionaries also, that is created by Christians. Okay, so why they created this? Why? Because they want to protect them. But let's suppose the students here in madrasa, they are going to teach religion, and some Hindu or any other caste they basically took admission in madrasas. So as it is created under Article 30 of Indian Constitution, so it is a part of minority. So state will not going to, means Article 25 is not going to be imposed there, or you can say Article 28 is not going to be imposed there. If you are Hindu, if they are following something, so you can't deny that I am not going to part in the this religious instruction, because as you took admission in the minority college, then you have to follow the same. I hope you all getting it. So these are some simple data and things that you need to follow. Now we are going to discuss about the MCQs. So which directive principle has been transferred into the fundamental right? Directive principle transferred to the fundamental right. Now as you know, students, DPSP, Directive Principle of State Policy, it is under the part 4 of Indian Constitution, and article is from 36 to 51. And then we have, there is another article, fundamental right. As you know, it is included under part 3 of Indian Constitution, and it is between the 12 to 35. Now, right to work, right to information, right to healthy environment, and right to education. Student, as you know, the right to education, it is included under Article 21 Clause A. Okay. Along with that, when it was done in the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act year 2002. In the same time, students, a duty was also included under Article 51 Clause A and Sub Clause K. What it was? Duty to education. Okay. Along with that, students, there was an article number 45. Article 45 is mentioning about early childhood care. Okay, means below the age 6, and after that, students, it is also mentioning about 6 to 14 year compulsory education. So initially it was in DPSP, and as you know, student, DPSP is non-enforceable in court of law. So let's suppose if a state is not providing anyone education, so no one can go to the court, I am not getting education. But once it became right, fundamental right under Article 21A, now students, as you know, it became a justicable or enforceable law. I hope you all getting it. So this is one thing. So option D is right for the same. Right to education is here. So right to education transferred from the directive principle of state policy into the fundamental right. Article 25 of DPSP originally stated that states shall endeavor to provide for free and compulsory education for all children until they complete their age 14 years. So as I told you already, 86th Constitutional Amendment Act year 2002, basically of the Constitution of India, right to education has become a fundamental right. Article 21 Clause A is added, which states the state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children of the age of 6 to 14 years in such manner as the state may by law determined students. Okay, I hope you are getting it. So these data are easy, okay, but you have to look it carefully. Now just see question number 2. Okay, it was in UPPSC mains. So there is a two statement, one will be assertion and other will be reason. You have to check it. Assertion says that state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children between the age group 6 to 14. Reason says that in a democratic society, a right to education is indispensable in the interpretation of the right to development as a human right, students. So now just opt the right answer. What is going to right answer for the same students? Okay. So in the democratic society, students, right to education is needed for the development of any individual, any human right. Okay, so for any human, education is needed. So what you find, students, basically between the age group 6 to 14, okay, in the democratic society, it is created for the development. Okay, so what you see, students, basically both assertion and reason are correct, and reason is basically explaining about the assertion. So both are correct here statement. Okay, so both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Education is not a privilege, it is human right. So the right to education is legally guaranteed to all without any discrimination. Both individual and society benefit from the right to education. It is a fundamental for human, social and economic development, and a key element to achieving lasting peace and sustainable development. So it is a powerful tool to developing the full potential of everyone's and ensuring human dignity and in promoting the individual as well as collective well-being, students. Now see the next question. Once again, assertion and reason based question. So Article 30 of Indian Constitution does not define the term minorities. It is about the assertion. Now reason, the Constitution recognizes only linguistic and religious minority, students. So what is right answer for the same? What you find, students, Article 30, there is no specific reason, basically mention of the minority word. Okay, so no specific minority word is added here, means no definition is there. And as well as what you find, we are recognizing only linguistic and religious minorities. So both are true, but what you see, both are true, but it is not mentioning why it is not defined. Okay, so we will go with what both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not explaining A or assertion, students. I hope you are getting it. Now see the statements, both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not correct explanation of assertion. According to Article 30 of Indian Constitution, all minorities, whether based on religion, language, shall have the right to establish and administer educational institution of their choice. Hence, any particular minorities are not mentioned. Okay, so Article 30 Clause 1 provide for all religious and institutional minorities the right to establish and administer educational institution of their choice. It is available to religious and linguistic minorities only, students. Getting it? Now see the next question. The Constitution of India recognizes what? Only religious minorities, only linguistic minorities, religious and linguistic minorities, religious, linguistic and ethnic minorities. So we already discussed Article 30 is mentioning about the religious and linguistic minorities, students. So the Constitution of India recognizes linguistic and religious minority. The term minority not defined in the Indian Constitution. However, the Constitution recognizes only religious and linguistic minorities. Article 30 provides that all minorities, whether based on religion or language, shall have right to establish and administer educational institutions, students. So now see the question number 6. Under provision of the Act of 1992, which religious communities have been recognized as minorities by National Minority Commission? Okay, so by National Minority Commission, which of the following recognized as minorities? Okay, So just opt the right answer for the same. Muslims, Christian and Parsis, Jain and Buddhist, Sikh and Buddhist. So Muslims are approximately 15 to 18%. If you go with the data of the 2011 census, so they are 14 point something percent. So they are the part of the minority. Then Christians, they are also very less in number. They are also the minorities. Parsis are minorities. Jain and Buddhist are minorities. Okay, so what you find, this Jainism and Buddhism originated in India, and they are basically very less. It is approximately 1%, less than 1%. Okay, so what you see, Sikhs are not the part of the minority. So if you see students, basically Buddhist included recently, no? Jain is not there. Jain is now there. So what you see students, Muslim, Christian, Parsis, Sikh and Buddhist, these are included there. So if you go with the same, then you will find. But now see students, once you have to check the data, and I have to also check, I just getting confusion here. Jain, sometimes I think Jain is also included, but yes, I have to check that. Okay, so about the originally there was 5 religion or 5 religious community that was included, that is Muslim, Christian, Sikh, Buddhist and Zoroastrian, that is Parsis, have been notified under the minorities of the Union government under section 2C of the National Commission for the Minorities Act 1992. In 2014, Jain became the 6th community to have the minority status under the same. So as I told you, you have to check it. Okay, as I was little confused, yes. So if you go with the right answer for in the today's concern, so Jain is also part of the same, so all is going to be correct. Okay, but it is connected with the year 1992. So now Jain is also part of the same, but initially it was not part of the this minority community students. I hope you all getting it. So that's why I was little thinking there was some confusion key. Yes, they are included. Okay, so I hope it is okay. Now see the next question. No citizen shall be denied admission into educational institution maintained by state or receiving aid out of state fund on ground of any religion, race, caste, sex, language or any of them. So this provision is contained in which of the following article of Indian Constitution? Okay, so where it is included? Under article 30, 16, 28 or 29. Okay, where it is included? So basically protection in respect of minorities under article 29, it is mentioned that everyone has right for the education, so they can take admission. So article 29 provide that no citizen shall be denied admission into any educational institution maintained by state, means state funded, or receiving aid out of the state fund on ground only on the religion, race, caste, sex, religion, language. Okay, I hope you all getting it. Easy. Now see the next question. A right to property was deleted from the list of fundamental right guaranteed to the citizen by which of the following? It is 42nd Constitutional Amendment, 43rd, 44th and 45th. So right to property, as I told you, it was added by, means it is removed by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978. Initially it was under Article 31 of Indian Constitution. Later it is shifted to Article 300 Clause A under Part 12 of the Indian Constitution students. So now see the explanation part 2. So right to property is deleted from the list of fundamental right through the 44th Amendment 1978. So 2 article was removed, that is Article 31 and 19 Clause 1 subclause F students. Okay, so now it is a part of the that is a legal right. Now what is the position of right to property in India? So it is legal right available to citizen only. It is legal right available to any person. Fundamental right available to citizen only. Neither fundamental right nor not legal right. So as you know, it is no more fundamental right. It is now a legal right. So if it is a legal right, it is available to Indian only or any other two. So students, it is available to everyone. So it is available to any person, and this was in UPSC pre 2021. So here you see students, as I already discussed, when it was shifted, and now the knowledge plus portion is here. The Constitution 44th Amendment Act 1978 deleted the right to property from the fundamental right and amended this, omitted this Article 31 and 19 clause 1 subclause F, and it is shifted to Article 300 clause 1. Now read the following statement and choose the correct option. Right to property was deleted from the list of fundamental right by this 44th Amendment Act 1978. Right to property was made a legal right under Article 300 Part 300 Clause A, Part 12 of the Indian Constitution. So students, what you find, both statement is true. Okay, so what you see, both statement are correct, 1 and true, both are true. As we already discussed, it was amended by 44th Amendment 1978, and it is shifted to the Part 12 of Indian Constitution under Article 300A. Now it is a legal right, students. So this is all about these portion, and as I told you, this book is going to helpful for your prelims examination as well as for the mains too. Okay, so this is available for the other subject also, for the history, geography, polity, economics as well as the science, and this is 100% error free, knowledge plus with the typical question, PYQ bullets for revision, free package chapter test to students. So this is all about the today's session. I'm leaving you now. We'll meet tomorrow, and if you have this book, if you don't have, just order this and just read the book and just meet in the class. If there's any confusion, just write in the